Commentary on Revelation 14:14 to 20. This passage presents a vivid vision of harvest, two distinct reapings carried out under divine authority. The imagery draws deeply from prophetic language, especially from passages like Joel and Daniel, where harvest symbolizes judgment, fulfillment, and the culmination of a determined time. Verses 4 to 16. The harvest of the earth. John describes a white cloud, and seated upon it is one like unto the Son of Man, crowned with gold and holding a sharp sickle. The cloud imagery reflects divine presence and authority, echoing Daniel's vision of one coming with the clouds of heaven. The golden crown signifies completed authority and kingship, not something awaited but already possessed. The command comes from the temple, indicating that this action proceeds from the established dwelling place of God. Authority rooted in what has already been revealed and established. The declaration that the time is come signals not a distant future, but a moment that had reached its fullness. The phrase, the harvest of the earth is ripe, carries the sense of completion, something brought to its intended end. The Greek term suggests something dried or fully matured. This is not a process beginning, but one concluding. When the sickle is thrust into the earth, the action is immediate and decisive. There is no delay, no progressive unfolding, only execution. This reflects a transition point where what had been growing under a previous order reaches its conclusion. Verses 17 to 20. The harvest of the vine of the earth. A second angel emerges, also with a sharp sickle, followed by another angel who has authority over fire. Fire throughout Scripture often symbolizes divine examination and the exposure of what is temporary versus what endures. This second harvest is directed specifically at the vine of the earth, whose grapes are described as fully ripe. Unlike the first harvest, which is more general, this one is more targeted. The vine imagery contrasts with the true vine, the system or identity rooted in the earthly realm rather than in divine life. The grapes are gathered and cast into the great winepress of the wrath of God. The winepress is a well-known prophetic symbol, especially in Isaiah, where it portrays judgment upon a covenant-breaking people. The crushing of grapes represents the pressing out of what has been produced. The location, outside the city, is significant. It indicates exclusion from the covenant center, separation from what is considered the dwelling place of God. This aligns with imagery of rejection and removal from covenant standing. The description of blood flowing from the winepress to the height of horses' bridles for a vast distance is not intended as literal measurement, but as symbolic intensity. It conveys completeness and thoroughness, nothing left untouched by the event being depicted. Thematic observations. 1. Completion rather than anticipation. Both harvests emphasize ripeness and readiness. The focus is not on something beginning, but on something reaching its appointed end. The language consistently points to fulfillment. 2. Authority, already established. The figure on the cloud is already crowned. The actions proceed from the temple. There is no sense of authority being granted in the moment. Everything flows from what is already in place. The 3. Twofold aspect of harvest. The passage distinguishes between a general harvest and a more specific one involving the vine. This reflects a broader gathering alongside a more focused dealing with a particular system or identity tied to the earth. 4. Covenantal imagery. The winepress, the city, and the temple all point to covenantal structures. The imagery is rooted in prophetic language used to describe the conclusion of a covenant order and the exposure of what belongs to it. 5. Finality and thoroughness. The scale and intensity of the imagery underscore completeness. What is being described leaves no remainder. It is decisive and total. Summary. Revelation 14:4-20 presents a vision of consummation through the language of harvest. The earth reaches its fullness, and what has matured is gathered accordingly. Authority is exercised from a position already established, and the imagery communicates not anticipation of a distant event, but the decisive conclusion of a divinely appointed period.